Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome on into the Wednesday episode here of the Payoff Pitch. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, the Hockey Squirrel. And we're brought to you every single day by BetUS, a fantastic sportsbook. Boy, if you haven't gone and checked them out yet, we highly encourage you to do so. And in this video description, you can find a link to hop you over to BetUS, and you can check out how great of a sportsbook that is. We call it the first inning. We call it quick hits. We like to just get our mind. What's going on this morning there, Squirrel?
Hey man, not too much, not really anything crazy to talk about, really. Um, I don't know, just surviving the week, really.
Like that right there. Speaking of surviving, let me get to that here in a second. But in terms of baseball, I went 4-0 yesterday, so a nice sweep. We had some no-brainer plays right there, obviously with the Dodgers and Yankees taking some of their team totals. But good to cash Monty under his strikeout total, and Adon up over his hit total, got over that thing in the third inning. So 4-0, real nice sweep. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks for tailing those picks. I'm glad to help you guys put money in your pocket. Otherwise, Squirrel, I'm sweating this morning. I may look like I'm cool over here, but if anybody follows me on TikTok, I do a little challenge where you can make bets and you roll the profits over each time. And anyways, you could eventually, after so many wins, have $85,000 in your pocket. I'm up to a nice little threshold in that challenge where I've got a $900 bet on the line that pays out $1,800, and I'm sweating. I am extremely uncomfortable over here. Just got to get through this show and get back to this tennis game because I am uncomfortable. Man. I don't. It's not too often I obviously put anything near this amount of money up for grabs, and whew, uncomfortable, Squirrel. A little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move it along here to baseball again. Nice little slate. What did you? Sorry, I went to say nice little slate. It's not what I meant to say. When you looked at this slate, boy, I was just like, ugh, it wasn't a ton to like. I think there's a few good spots. What did you think on the slate when you looked at it?
Yeah, I mean, as someone had asked us, it might have been a woodworker guy in the chat the other day or last week. He asked kind of like, how do we analyze a game? And um, I go through my little process of I'm very much a money line player, and from that perspective, I didn't find much. I kind of lean towards more totals today, due to some pitching matchups, due to maybe some strikeout rates one way or the other, over and unders both. So, um, yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit yucky, like you said, but I think we'll work our way through it here one game at a time.
All right, with that being said, let's do that. Let's jump into the second inning where we call it around the bases. We'll take a couple of games and we'll go ahead and break them down. Why don't I go ahead and kick off here? I'm going to like this Phillies and Braves game. What about over 8.5 runs in the Phillies and Braves game at minus 115? Got Ranger Suarez here on the mound there for the Phillies. Over 8.5 runs has happened in 4 of his last 5 starts. Everybody's gotten runs against Suarez except for the Mariners, so I like that every team's generally speaking able to get to him. He's a high contact, low K percentage kind of guy. His opponent's batting average is 269, while he only brings a 7.6 K per 9 to the plate. So yeah, like that right there. He'll got Charlie Mountain on the bump there for the Braves. He's gone over 8.5 runs and also 4 of his last 5 starts. So we like that. He's also given up runs in all of his start except for 1 against the Brewers. Both of these bullpens are coming in bottom half of the league. In fact, if you look at the Phillies, boy, you look at some of their stats, they come in bottom 10, bottom 5 of the league in some of the bullpen stats. So we've got starters on the mound that obviously in their games we're seeing over 8.5 runs. We're seeing starters who get roughed up in all but 1 of their starts. You're getting bullpens that aren't that great. You're getting offensive-wise a Braves offense that is significantly better than left-handed pitching. Struggling a little bit versus the right-handers, but versus left-handers, they're much better, and obviously that suits us really well with Ranger Suarez on the mound there for the Phillies. The Phillies offense, it's probably not ideal, where you would want them to be in the standings, but okay, give me Charlie Morton, give me that bullpen. I think the Phillies can do some damage. So I like Phillies and Braves over 8.5 runs as my first bet of the day at minus 115. What's a game you want to talk about, Squirrel?
Yeah, I think a lot of my plays are just pretty simple today. I don't think there's like a ton to really go over. Game one that I'm looking at is Baltimore Orioles and the New York Yankees over 7.5. You're getting Tyler Wells on one side of it. The Orioles have been putting up runs on the Yankees. We know that the Yankees can score runs, and they're pulling out J.P. Sears today, who, again, there are a few of these spots where I don't know anything about him. Whether it's J.P. Sears or I think the Mets are pulling a guy today, Thomas Sapucky.
Yeah.
Dude, I have no clue. So and these are guys where, yeah, when they need an arm, they pull them up from the minors and then send them right back down or whatever. It's going to be a bullpen day. Um, and if we're getting games that are going over with Garrett Cole on the mound, I don't know what JP Sears is going to do that's going to be that different to the Orioles. And over 7.5 seems too low for that game.
Like that. You're seeing the overs already cash in those first two games. I like the familiarity. Obviously these two teams just hooked up. They've hooked up already a ton this season. So like that with those starting pitchers on the mound, you're taking that over. I want to take another over today. Let's keep this over trend going. What about Rangers and Angels over 8.5 runs at -115? You got Otto on the mound here versus Detmers. Detmers, boy, he's been rocked in 2 starts versus the Rangers. Yeah, that's right. This is now going to be his 3rd time facing them. 7 innings pitched, 9 hits, 8 runs, and 2 home runs in those previous 2 outings. I mean, besides Detmer's, no-hitter, which obviously he threw a couple of starts ago, everybody's gotten runs off him and been able to do some damage. So, like that the Rangers will be able to get to him now for a 3rd time. Both of these games, so the Rangers in those starts versus Detmers, both of them had 15 runs each. So when Detmers went up against these Rangers, it was 15 and 15 runs. Otto would be the first time he's faced these Angels so far, but he's had runs in every single start that he's pitched so far this season. Both bullpens are about average across the board. The offenses come in 12 to 15-ish is about where they'll see their stats sit across right-handed pitching. So go ahead. Give me that. Give me offenses that are about average. Yeah. Give me bullpens that are about average as well. Starters that can certainly get hit. And obviously with Detmers, he's been really hit by these Rangers. So I like over 8.5 runs in Rangers and Angels. -115. What's the last game for you there, Squirrel?
So we've been talking about overs. I think I'll go ahead and grab an under, actually, and that's going to be in the Brewers and the Padres. You have Ashby and you have Yu Darvish, who is, I think, one of the guys we have recently talked about in the last couple of days here as being kind of one of these up and down guys. Either you're going to get a Yu Darvish that when he's on and he's great, and when in your words, when he throws a stinker, that's what it is. But we've seen even as of yesterday a lower scoring game, a 4-1, and I don't know. Again, the Brewers' offense has been also one of those teams that's had their ups and downs. So for what the game is and for what the line has done, either you're going to get a juiced line at 7 at a -120 or 125. Some books have gone up to a 7.5, and you're getting the under then at -120 or 125. I'm going to grab the under 7.5 at a -120 to try to, I guess, you can allow 7 now without getting the push, but you're paying a little bit of juice. But I think there's that fine line there for what I'm seeing. Not only the line do, but where I'm seeing the money go as well. And that distribution is looking like 28% of tickets, 60% of the money is on the under 7 or 7.5 with, I guess, a system that is like 55% win rate. So giving you around a 7% ROI there. I don't know. Things just look decent for that under there in the Padres game.
Like that. I like how you decided to go with the guarantee, or not the guarantee, the profit there if there's 7 runs. I always like to do that in my research. If I feel like if I put in, multiple hours of research and then I want to also sweat for multiple hours, I don't want to gamble just to push. I don't want to lose either, but I'd rather put in that 7.5 and get a win than put in all that work and all that sweat and just push at 7. So
yeah,
like that you're going to go and do
game
that.
Or something stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So. All right, let's time to shut up. Let's give these guys some pitching props. I'll go ahead and kick it off here. What about the Nationals? We've been fading this team for the last 2 days, getting good cashes from these Dodgers teams. How about backing the Nationals? Let's back them with their starter on the mound there, and Eric Fedde. How about over 3.5 Ks at -146? I bet that was a big shocker to everybody to hear that bet for today. It's cashed in 6 of his 8 starts. It's cashed in his last 3 starts. You're getting a Nationals team, guys. What I really like about this, and I'm using kind of a projection of how I think this game will unfold. You've got what was it? Adon the other night threw 4.2 innings pitched. Gray last night only went 3 innings pitched, and a lot of guys came out of that bullpen for those 7 innings. I just think with Fetty, will he get rocked by these Dodgers? Sure. I mean, Dodgers is an elite offense, but I think they're going to give him a long leash. They can't afford to go to this bullpen nice and early. Bullpen got absolutely worked the last 2 nights due to starters, obviously exiting early. So you already got a starter that's been cashing this prop. He doesn't need any help. I think he's going to get that help by getting maybe a touch of a little bit of a longer leash. You add in the fact that the Dodgers have a pretty high K percentage at 23% of their outs. A guy that's cashed in 6 of his 8 starts. All right, it's Eric Fetty over 3.5 Ks at -146. What's a pitching prop for you, Squirrel?
I feel like a lot of these are right on some kind of borderline of like the dude may or may not do it. You know what I'm saying? Like It's just an exact average of like if the guy gets 5 a game and he's at 5.5, or the guy gets 4 strikeouts a game or whatever. It may be an unpopular opinion, but the highest line that's set today is on Robbie Ray at 7.5 over or under strikeouts. And he's been making a lot of strikeouts against teams that are even, really, really good, like the Mets, like the Red Sox, the Phillies. He's been getting 8, 9, or 10, and you get 7.5. I think the public opinion here would obviously be to go over 7.5, and I feel just gutturally like not going over 7.5. It's a lot of strikeouts to get 8 consistently over and over and over, and he's done it 3 in a row. And again, you get this Athletics team where people are, they suck at batting, and 8's going to be easy. I don't know. It just feels like a lot to me to hit 8 strikeouts in a game.
Well, the Athletics had the 5th best K percentage versus left-handed pitching right now. They only get 16.7% of their outs via the K, so that's a tough one.
Well, there you go. I'll take the under 7.5 as a lean, and if it cashes, give me the credit. And if it doesn't, I had nothing to do with that.
Hey, I took under Dylan Cease yesterday, under at 7.5 Ks. 8's a lot. Eight is a lot of Ks to ask from somebody, so I like that one. Let me jump on and under there with you as well. Go to Dylan Bundy, and we spoke before the show. You said it's raining there in your hometown, so maybe this game doesn't happen, but yeah. Dylan Bundy, member there of the Minnesota Twins. I like under 4.5 Ks. At -125, cashed in 4 of his 6 starts. He's only coming off 54 pitches. That's because he went on the COVID list, so maybe even that plays into our factor that, coming off COVID, pitch 54, maybe he's not quite ramped up back to his 90. He could be, but again, that's maybe a little bit of a projection, but that could certainly be on our side there if we take an under. But Moorhead going to really just rely on the fact that this is cashed a lot in his starts, again, in 4 of the 6. Going up against the Tigers team who's got some pretty good numbers up against Dylan Bundy in their career. So I'll take Dylan Bundy under 4.5 Ks at -125. Let me toss out one other one before you go. We talked about Yu Darvish last week because we faded him and got under his strikeout prop and got a good cash. He's at home, folks. I just want to maybe put this one on your radar. Over 5.5 Ks. Don't want to talk about it a lot, but we've just talked about his home and away splits and how dramatic they are. All right, you got the Padres at home. Think he can go over 5.5 Ks today. So maybe give that one a look. Do you have another one as well, Squirrel?
There's a guy that I like that I just don't know if I feel like he's sort of flying under the radar or if nobody's really giving him attention. And just in the games I've seen him in, I don't think he's bad. It's Jacob Junis of the San Francisco Giants. I mean, he hasn't gotten rocked particularly. Again, you went with Fetty over 3.5, and I think that's like a -160. This kid is getting 3.5 at a -140.
Oh, wow.
And he's done that 3 out of 5. And I think you were saying, 6 out of 8 or something like that?
Right. Yeah, for the guy, Fetty.
So not terribly different for a little bit less juice. And yes, it is against the Mets. A great offense and maybe a little bit harder to do. But I'm kind of wanting to back the Giants today with the fact that I've seen Junis and I know nothing about Sapuki or whatever the hell the dude's name is. I have no idea how you pronounce that, but I don't know. We'll see as we get later into the innings.
Three thoughts on that game right there on Giants and Mets for me. One, last night I went up against Mr. 17-0 and I took an L because he's now 18-0. That guy did it again.
I don't know how
he
you put up 12 runs and lose a game. I don't know how you do that. But...
he didn't obviously do it. I mean, that score was 12-13 or 13-12. I don't know what it was, but either way, that stat has now lived on. All right, Logan Webb, I'm paying the price next time, buddy. Whatever you're at home, I'm paying the price. My other thoughts on this game is I kind of like the over today in net Giants versus Mets. Boy, you got Junis on the mound there. And then you got this kid that's really just a glorified AAA starter. He's just coming up making a spot start. And then secondly, you mentioned Junis. It's so funny how like we get these perceptions stuck in our head. Junis, the longtime Kansas City Royal, absolutely terrible. Like loves fading that guy. The thought of like getting behind him. This is why you got to evolve people. Look at the stats. Look at no. You can't just have these perceptions stuck in your head. Because I would have thought like never get behind Junis ever.
Oh yeah, but the kid hasn't been bad. I mean, he's pitched 5 to 6 innings in every start.
Yeah.
0 runs in his first 2 games. He's given up 2 runs in the next 2, and that was against the Cardinals, a team that absolutely slams you. His ERA has been 1.2, like sub 1 whips. Like it's fine. The kid's and he's going, a good start. It's not like he's one of these 1 inning pitchers. Been fine. And it's weird how a team can shake you up. Like you look at Stroman when he was on the Mets, I didn't think he was as bad as he's been now on the Cubs. Like when I was watching him, he was getting cracked.
I was actually just about to say that. I was just about to say that about Junis, right? Maybe he sucked because he was a member of the Royals for so long, and that team generally sucked. But now he's on a good team, and that's making him blame it.
Sports too is and a lot of the things I have to relate is back to hockey, right? Because that's my main deal. But you see people go from one team. I mean, it's even within the same team, line changes. The chemistry of the line you're on, the players that you're with, knowing where they're at on the ice, who you're going to pass to, where, there's just, I think sports come down to a lot of mental things that, you can have a team that maybe isn't as talented physically, but if there's chemistry and they work together better, if they play as a team, you can, perform theoretically a lot better than some, that just rely on pure raw talent and skill. So you can't just buy a good player, stick him on the team, and expect you're going to win a cup or whatever.
I hear that indeed. Schwartzman won the 3rd set, by the way, folks, so I got to win. Schwartzman is on the board. He's only down 2-1. All right, let's keep this show moving along with baseball talk. Let's go ahead and give these people some long shots. There's a plus money bet out there that we think can go ahead and get a win. I'll kick it off. How about those Tigers money line? I know I had prepared the whole show, and then Squirrel jumps on here about 5 minutes before we get go live. He says a Twins game is likely not going to happen, but there's a whole lot to like here. I'm getting the better bullpen here in the Detroit Tigers. From a starter perspective, I'll take my chances that Bundy, he's kind of tripped up the one start just before COVID. He had a little bit of a hiccup. I know he did decent coming back from COVID, but that was only in a very abbreviated outing. So I like the Tigers today. A lot of these bats have success against Dylan Bundy. There's a reason why I like under 4.5 Ks with him. So I think the Tigers at plus 165 today could be a nice underdog play today. What about for you?
For me, it was a plus 150 long shot deal on the Miami Marlins. I looked at them yesterday, but didn't take them because they went against a lefty. Was it McClanahan? I think. Now they get back to the righties where they'll see Drew Rasmussen, but also this now puts them in the 2nd or 3rd spot for batting average, for runs brought in. They'll bring in Cody Poteet, who the ERA is super low, but I don't think he's probably had a lot of starts, has he? Let me look. Anyway, we're back to buying an offense. At plus 150, that translates you to a 40% chance to win, and I would certainly think it's a little bit higher going against that right-handed pitching and the stats that they hold. So once again, taking a shot on buying the offense and seeing where that gets us.
Like that right there. All right, 5th inning, we call it keep swinging. We'll give you guys some hitting props to go with those pitching props. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to give you guys something I really, really, really like today. I'm going to give you guys Francisco Lindor, there of the New York Mets. He's 18 for 36 against Junis, there of the Giants. 3 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, and only 2 strikeouts Love that right there. We're getting a really big sample size. We do this stuff every day. We try and find guys. Well, okay, I always gravitate toward guys bigger sample size, but this is a big sample size and hardly any strikeouts. So there's only two. I love that right there. Remember, these guys have a lot of familiarity because of their days between the Guardians and the Royals back in the day. So he should absolutely hit Junis right here. And then when we do get to this bullpen there for the Giants, they are still struggling. We've talked about that now, what seems like for a full week. They're 27th in BABIP and they're 30th in opponent's batting average. What am I going to do with Francisco Lindor? Over 1.5 total bases. Over 1.5 total bases at plus 158. There is a sportsbook out there that'll give you a 50% profit boost. That's what I went ahead and used it on, was Francisco Lindor. Over 1.5 total bases at plus 158. What's a guy for you there, Squirrel?
So I'm sure you probably noticed, but you got quite a few Cubbies that are gonna hit Luis Castillo, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The averages are crazy for particularly a few guys, being Jason Hayward, Wilson Contreras, and Ian Happ. The books know this kind of stuff, right? So you're going to see some juiced lines. But the good thing is what they're juicing is either zero point 0.5 hits or zero point 0.5 total bases. So perhaps using something like that to be a parlay piece to either get a hit for one of these better batters on the Cubs. But those averages are looking like 333, 467, 350, 350. There's quite a few of those Cubs players that are doing pretty well, and no Castillo. So
Yeah, just to add on to that, because normally I give you guys two guys to kind of parlay together. I had Lindor written in my notes. Wilson Contreras, they're the catcher of the Cubs, exactly what the Squirrel was talking about. He was the second player I was thinking about parlaying with Lindor. Obviously, since scratched that parlay, but to your point, yeah, Contreras has got some great numbers there versus Castillo. Sixth inning, we call it's a steal. I like to go ahead and give my best NRFI of the day right here in the sixth inning every single day. So with that being said, I think the best NRFI of the day could be that Athletics Mariners game at minus 138. Robbie Reyes had 9 starts. He's only given up 1 run. That was via the home run. He's had 9 Ks, just been outstanding so far in the first inning. Blackburn, 4 runs and 5 starts, not been the greatest, but he's got 6 Ks, so he's definitely got the potential. And we'll lean on an offense of the Mariners that's been struggling a little bit there in the first inning. Go ahead and give me the NRFI of the day is in that Athletics Mariners. Just missed my card, but I like it. What about for you, Squirrel?
So I guess I will only call it a steal, not because of the offense of the team that they're going against, but because I like the starter. I've seen the starter, and I know nothing about the opposing starter. I will take the Giants at a minus 130 price point. I was just about to take a look at the first 5 innings. Minus 125 for the first 5 innings. So you're actually getting even better price. I'll say the San Francisco Giants in the first 5 innings to fade that Thomas saw Pucky, or however you pronounce his name, know nothing about him, and I like Junis. So I'll take a minus 125 on the first 5 innings of the Giants.
All right, 7th inning's called coming to a stretch. We'll give you guys our best bet of the day. I'll kick it off. My best bet of the day did not make my card. Did not make a card because you followed me on Twitter. I like to make arbitrage bets and then use that free money. It's in that free roll. What's in that free roll? Rangers F5 team total over 1.5 runs at minus 130. Kind of already talked about how they should absolutely get to Detmers now for the 3rd time. They've been successful the first 2 times, cashing this bet really, really easily. These Rangers averaged 2.34 runs over the course of the first 5 innings. Again, this will not be on my card, but it'll be on one of my free rolls a little bit later this afternoon. Love this bet right here. So Rangers F5 team total over 1.5 runs at minus 130. What's the best bet on the board for you today, Squirrel?
My best bet's actually going to be in the same game. It's going to be an over. I'll take the 8.5 there, and I think I got it at a minus 115 for the Rangers and the Angels. Again, you touched on it in the 2nd inning. A lot of stuff to like there for not only the bats of both teams, but also the pitching of both teams. I mean, you were saying kind of average, weren't you? Is that kind of what the lean was there in the 2nd inning, or the reasoning? And I very much agree with that as well. You're getting absolutely slammed with money on the over for distributions and whatnot. It's everyone's backing it as well, and for good reason, I do think. So we'll have a nice fun late night over there to look forward to.
Nice. We'll ride or die together then, everybody. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Eighth inning's called double play. We'll give you guys a parlay. Let me give you guys a simple money line parlay. What about the Mariners up against the Athletics? I think they'll be able to get it done with Robbie Ray on the mound, and they've got the better offense to back as well. And then I'm going to parlay the Mariners with the Rays, with Rasmussen on the mound going up against the Marlins. I think this is kind of really a no-brainer spot. You're getting by far the better offense, better bullpen. Mariners, Rays, I thought it was relatively easy parlay. Comes in at plus 152. What's a parlay for you today, Squirrel?
Boy, I don't really think in terms of parlay. Tough one today with kind of a yucky board. You're trying to back the Nationals, I guess. Well, just in the strikeout category. I don't know. I mean, the Dodgers have been destroying them, I think. Yesterday I took the Dodgers and the Brewers. However, I said the first 5 innings, which was a tie. So I guess I won like half of my parlay yesterday.
I won my parlay yesterday. Dodgers, I didn't bet it, but I won it.
There you go. Yeah, I don't really bet the parlays either, to be honest with you. Man, it have to be like the Dodgers and maybe one of these overs or both of these overs. Like, here's what I'll do. I'll say the Orioles and Yankees over and the Rangers and Angels over. So 7.5 for the Orioles and Yankees and 8.5 for the Rangers and Angels. That gives you a plus 242. You get to root for runs. It's a fun one.
I like it. I like it right there. All right, let's give these people our full card. Then let's talk about every single game from a money line, run line, over-under perspective. Let's scroll up to the top. Throw our bets in there. Just 5 bets for me today. 3 player props and a couple overs. Talked about Dylan Bundy under 4.5 Ks. Let's hope Mother Nature stays away so we can get that cash. Eric Fetty over 3.5 Ks at minus 146. Lindor over 1.5 total bases at plus 158. And then, of course, I like those 2 overs of 8.5 runs each in Braves and Phillies and Rangers and Angels. And looks like you're on a couple unders or overs too.
Yeah, those are the 2 I just threw in my parlay, so parlay them too, I guess. I've already talked about them enough, so yeah, it's just the Orioles and the Yankees over 7.5, Rangers, Angels over 8.5. I think you get there due to the starting pitching, due to the offensive batting, and all around. I think they're just solid plays. The money's there. It's good stuff.
All right, let's go ahead and pull up BetUS. Let's talk about every single game from a money line, run line, or over-under perspective. We've given you a couple of our thoughts. Let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper now and actually give you guys some leans for all games. Let's see. We got Rockies and Pirates kicking it off right here with an over-under of 8. You've got the Rockies at plus 115, Pirates at minus 115. This should be the rubber match here in this series. I think you've seen 2-1 games, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they're terrible. Yeah, I was sweating last night because I took the Rockies. I'm like sitting there in the 10th inning. I'm like, oh, this is how this is going to go. Huh?
I'm taking the under. None of these offenses have been able to break out against bullpens we think can be hit.
Like, dude, Feltner's got like some 7 ERA, and I still don't even want to trust him over. That's not good. So, I'll take an under. I don't really feel like picking a team today.
Tigers and Twins. This game starts in about an hour. If Mother Nature can hold off, we got an over-under of 7.5. Tigers are at plus 165. I told you guys I like that. Twins are at minus 190. I would go ahead and take the over if I think the Tigers can get it done. So over 7.5
I don't know
for
why
me.
You wouldn't take over. If this game's going to be played, that's all you should be doing in this game is taking an over at 7.5.
Love that
that's
right
all
there.
You should be doing.
Mets and Giants over-under of 8.5. Mets are at plus 115. Giants at minus 135. I think it's an easy over. Got a AAA pitcher against a guy, Junis. Okay, maybe he's doing decent, but it's his baseball card says it's just sitting there waiting for him to get rocked at any moment. And what better way to get rocked than going up against a top 5 offense? So it's over for me.
I'm tired of thinking that way. We've tried to do it to Zimmerman. We've tried to do it to Waka. Yada yada, and how do you know exactly what game it's going to happen? And you don't. I like the Giants. I like Junis. I'm going to back it and try to fade the pitching. I understand why you like an over. I don't hate it. I just am a money line player, and that's how I'm geared more towards the Giants. So.
Schwartzman just went up a break in the 4th set, guys. This is like I'm in pain over here watching this. I'm in pain. It's so much fun. I love when you're sweating out bets like this. This is why we bet, guys. So much fun. All right, Dodgers and Nationals are up next. Who the hell is back in the Nationals? This Dodgers offense is on fire. And they're covering the over every night all by themselves. They don't even need help from the Nationals. I mean,
No,
I guess I'm taking.
It's a run line.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm taking the over if I had to bet an over or an under. I mean, why not?
Yep, nothing to see here. Moving along, folks. Nothing to see here.
Brewers and Padres. Brewers are at plus 120. Padres are at minus 140. You got an over under of 7.5. I'm taking the Padres. Yu Darvish is just outstanding at home, his numbers wise. So I'll go ahead and take those Padres.
Yeah, we've seen some lower scoring games here already, and I'm going to go ahead and back that and take that 7.5 that it's moved to at a minus 120, as we talked about earlier in the second inning.
Athletics and Mariners, we've already talked about. Athletics are at plus 150. Mariners are at minus 170 with an over under of 7. I'm gonna take that Mariners. I'm gonna take that Mariners run line. They've got a way better offense, way better starter.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Mariners run line.
I do like both starters a lot, and with Robbie Ray having a strikeout total that damn high, I know Paul Blackburn's great. I know the Athletics don't hit wonderfully. I'm gonna take a first 5 innings under 3.5.
Yes, I love a first 5 under. Love it.
Yeah, that's only minus 105 on juice. Not too bad.
Cubs and Reds are up next with an over-under of 8.5. Cubs are at plus 130. Reds are at minus 150. I would probably take an over 8.5. And this one got a lot of familiarity. Got pitchers that can – each pitcher will probably give up 2+ runs. Yeah, over 8.5 for me.
We're on Cubs and Reds, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I was trying to read the chat, so I spaced for a sec. Yeah, you have those Cub players, though, that know Castillo. If you're looking for those batter props when you're in that section. They crushed them yesterday, too. I don't know what the hell the deal is with the Reds. Don't think I'd pay minus 150, so maybe something light on the Cubs as an underdog play, potentially. But I like Castillo, too. I don't know. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Maybe an over is the play. I don't know.
Under F5 super sweaty. I like that right there. Rays and Marlins are up next with an over-under of 7. Marlins at plus 150. Rays minus 170. Not paying minus 170, so I'll just hop on the run line at plus 130 for the Rays over on BetUS.
Yeah, this is my underdog play, and I'll actually stick with it. I'll back that, against the right-handed hitting of the Marlins and by that offense.
Schwartzman just consolidated the break, baby. We are truly up a break. The break has been consolidated. I love it right there. Orioles Yankees are up next.
Marlins 150. Marlins 150, though.
Marlins plus 150. Orioles Yankees got an over-under of 7.5. We got the juice to the over. I'm going to hop on that over with you. As far as a winner, you got the Orioles are at plus 140. Yankees are at minus 160. I think in a Yankees bullpen game, that just gives them even more of an advantage. That bullpen is really, really good, even though they don't have Aroldis Chapman. I'm going to take the Yankees money line, but I do like the over a ton better. We know you like the over.
Yeah,
what if you had to pick a winner?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't pick a winner.
No, I just asked you, what do you want to pick a winner?
Okay, the Yankees.
Yeah.
The Yankees.
Orioles, I think, got the upset last night. Or no, the Yankees got it in the 11th. No, I think the Yankees got it. 7-6.
Dude, I don't know, but they've been freaking me out. I would not be comfortable on the Yankees last 2 days. So.
Yeah. All right, Phillies and Braves, other than taking the over, would we pick a side? Phillies plus 145, Braves minus 165. I would take the Phillies plus 1.5 runs because it comes in under minus 150 over at BetUS. I got it at minus 145. I think the Phillies plus a run and a half is worth the look.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I would do with this game.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're already on a good one with that over, aren't you? You got it 8.5. It's at 9 now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good job.
Juice to the under, though, so if you wanted to wait, maybe it'll drop back down to 8.5. Because I got the over at even, and I got the under at minus 120, so it could fall back down. Battle of the Sox are up next. The red ones versus the white ones with an over-under of 7.5. We got the Red Sox at plus 145. White Sox at minus 165. Man, the White Sox can hit right-handed pitching. Their perception is they mash left-handed pitching, but yet they can't seem to do that this season. Man,
Other than Giolito, I don't mind the Red Sox. And Rich Hill still deals. That might not be the worst underdog play.
I'm taking over 7.5. You saw what they did yesterday against Dylan Cease. I'm telling you, Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
People won't believe me when I say he's better than Giolito because Giolito is more of a name, and I'm telling you, Dylan Cease has got better stuff. The Red Sox got. I like over 7.5. Over 7.5 runs.
I'll back the Red Sox here in an underdog play, much like the Marlins.
Guardians or Astros. This was one of the team in my double play winner yesterday. The Guardians, the Astros. We got the Guardians at plus 160. Got the Astros at minus 190. Over under of 8.5. Yep, we got Corn Trail on the mound here versus Javier. He burned me last start. I'm taking. I guess I'm just continue riding the Astros. I feel like the Astros at plus money on the run line is good, so that's what I'll do. I don't feel like you can go wrong. They're at home. Trash cans are banging.
Yeah.
Double break, baby. Schwartzman just broke him again. I'm coming for it. I'm getting hype. Yeah, Schwartzman just broke him back. Broke him. Oh.
Yeah, I'll take Astros run line is what you have?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, last game, other than taking the over 8.5 and Rangers and Angels, we have the Rangers at plus 150, Angels at minus 170. I mean, based on the Rangers' success against Detmers, I would sprinkle a little bit on that money line. Or you can even do plus 1.5 runs at minus 135. That's the better play.
1.5.
Yeah,
that's the better play. Yep.
That's the better play. It's not crazy juice.
That's the better play. I trust it's the better play, dude. Just keep
All right.
saying it.
All right, there we go, guys. That's Wednesday's MLB slate. I think it's going to be another nice day. Look, coming off a nice 4-0 sweep yesterday. Got 5 plays today. Squirrels got some good plays as well. Look forward to cashing these bets with you guys. Appreciate all those comments. Another lively day in the chat. It's always fun when you guys get to interact with us, so it makes it fun. Appreciate it. Go enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you back here Thursday on the Payoff Pitch. Have a good one, everybody.
See you later, man.